Good morning. Oh goodness, what is it? Is it Wednesday? I don't. Feels like a Wednesday. It is a Wednesday. Wow. Oh, that's right. Yesterday was a short stream. Today we are going into character prototyping. All right, so what do you call a shoe made out of a banana? Easy one, come on. Slippers. I'm gonna do some checks on my audio. So I'm gonna transition over here for a minute. Testing 1, 2. Testing 2, 3. Test, test. Oh, that does sound much better. A little bit further down. All right, stopping the music for just a moment. Testing 3, 4. Testing 3, 4. All right, that seems pretty good to me. And I think my mic position might have been a little bit too close. We'll have to see. All right, I'm gonna do just one more change here. I'm gonna pause the music while I do that. There we go. Test, test. Testing 5, 6, 7. 7, 8, 9, 10. Test, test. Then we'll be ready to go. All right, that is sufficient. Let's go to the next song. So, character prototyping. What are we doing? What are we doing? Characters. We need a prototype of something that we can export from Blender. Two things, basically. So, imagine a character and something being attached to it. So this is what we're working on right now. So we're going to be going back and forth to Blender and this. Let's see, do I even have Blender set up? I don't have Blender started. Well, Blender's going to be a chore for my machine. We'll see. See how well that works. Then last night I went through some tutorials. And if you are new to Blender, I would highly suggest, where is it? Show you the one that I was going through. I absolutely love this tutorial. It's really good. This one here. It's this one. I did not pay $149 for it. I think I got it on sale. I know it was below 100. All right. I think it's that one. Let me double check though. Maybe it's the same guy. No, I said learn 3D modeling for Blender. Oh yeah, for beginners. That is it. Okay. So the first thing we need is something to export. We need a character real quick. Oh, and I need to set up the task automatic scene switcher to recognize Blender. Oh, Blender, where art thou? There we go. Oh, I don't have a scene for that. All right, there's Blender. Yeah, $149 is expensive. I think you also have to consider how much time is in this. Right, 65 hours? I mean, going through this, I feel like for just gonna use their price for 150 bucks at the end, being proficient in Blender is well worth it. But okay. Let's see. I'm trying to set up a new scene real quick. Rename this. This should be Blender. Yay, Blender. Rename. Blender app. I think I can delete that other piece. Alright, we still have the music. We got that. Now I should be able to set up the tasks scene switcher thing. There's Blender. Right. I'm gonna try to switch windows. Firefox to Blender. Ah, ta-da. Alright. Look at that. I'm not going to increase the frame rate of the stream. I don't think it's going to add that much. But we are going to use my very quick sort of. I went through the first section of this course last night. I did it on 2x speed. The guy is very clear on 2x speed and super clear on 1x speed. Let's see, where's the, do they have like a syllabus? Where is this? Oh, they have CC and, oh, auto CC. No Asian probably buys such course. Oh yeah, yeah, I can understand that. All right, so we need something. We're gonna create something very simple. Let's see, do we want to start with the cube? We can start with the cube. Let's get some scaling going. I'm going to be using some key commands because I love key commands, and Blender is just packed full of them. You can do so much with key commands here. So given that Blender is unlike Unity in that Z is up and X and Y are the ground plane, you have to remember that subtle difference between these. You can use the gizmo at the top to click and drag. Oh, yep, there we go. Gimbal lock. You can also set it up so that you can switch between views using the number pad, or if you're not familiar with some of the settings, they do have some great settings and stuff like that in here. 5 goes between like ortho and projection. One of my favorite settings in here is, well, 2, orbit around selection, and then where was it? There's is it navigation? Not the key map. Oh, emulate numpad. This one here. Actually, you can't see that, Trat. Can't see the preferences. All right, we'll just say that's about there. All right. You can scale the interface, which I've already done. The scale is, well, at 1.25. We could probably do 1.0 for this because of how the UI is set up at the moment. And then down in input, you can emulate numpad because I don't have a number pad and I don't like hitting that button on my fancy keyboard. Which means that you can just hit, the number keys above, QWERTY, etc. And then the navigation. Orbit around selection is top notch. So you can just select things and then orbit. Because if you had, let's say, a duplicate, and you wanted to be able to go between these, and then click and change your orbit, it's very useful. See, go Z3, enter, go X, 3. Okay, so now they are slightly off. You can see that we orbit around that one, and we orbit here. Oh, and I forgot to show those windows that we were setting up. Comma, where's comma? So orbit around selection right here, this guy. And then input, emulate numpad. Just fantastic. All right, so coming back to this, turn off that window. We're going to create some very simple character. I just want something that I can attach stuff to inside of Blender. So I want to try adding a hat to something. So we're going to create something in here. The blocks all start out as a 2x2 block in Blender. We're just going to create something very blocky at first. It'll look humanoid-ish. Maybe we'll do one of those Among Us characters or something. All right, let's move that up. All right, let's make this the feet. So it'll have little cube feet. Go X. Let's see, what do we want that to go? 3? No, 2. All right, so we're going to duplicate that. It automatically selects the duplicate. Go X. 4. Hit minus to go the other way. Going to duplicate that. Go Z2. Enter. Go X. No. Go X. 2. I think it needs to... Yeah, because we're going to scale that. I'm going to scale it in every direction except for Y. So I'm going to hit S, Shift Y, 2, 3. Whoops, not 23, just 3. Enter. All right. Whoa, where'd it go? We're going to put this up here. Actually, I want snapping on. Increment's fine for this. Alright, so there's our little character. We're going to put a hat on it. Oh, we should have been naming these. Head. What is this? Foot left. Alright. Select all of those. Hit M, new collection. Character. Okay. don't know if this is the right sort of structure for this, but I think it might show us how these imports and exports could work. All right, so we're going to export. We're going to save this. Source. Blender tutorial. Yes, that's where we were yesterday. Rust legacy. Character prototype. Character save. Okay. File export. So in this case, we could export GLTF2, which would be fantastic if we could use GLTF. I just don't know if Godot supports that yet. Do they have a plugin for it? There's a fantastic blog post on why you should use it, by the way. It fixes everything. Or that's like the TLDR of. Anyhow. Alright. Let's go into Blender and see, do we have asset lib? I'm gonna search for GLTF. Plugins. Oh, that's for installed things. Alright. Clean documentation, etc., etc. Feature by feature, etc., etc. I want to see. One Lenitsky here. Lenitsky says that they have something. Where is it? Alright, so maybe it's already supported. Let's just try to import something with that. Let's go to Blender. That's not Blender. This is Blender. File, export, GLTF. Alright, we'll just say ooh, different formats, neat. Include selected objects. I think I only have those objects in the scene anyways. I'll export that. Let's go to Blender. Sorry, that's not Blender. New 3D scene. Can you just go into it? Ah, we need a parent. This is a 3D scene. Fine. Oh, you can. All right, well that's handy. Notice though that the origin's a little off. Ah, I just had something else selected. It's huge. Well, very nice. Okay. We could change the scale, 0.5. If I really wanted to. Does that, oh, it doesn't do anything. Two. Enter. Re-import. No, still nothing. Nice. Well, let's look at this. It looks like it's imported as a scene. So can we go into that scene? I'll just open it anyways. Oh, look at that. Ooh, fantastic. Hey, Eric.dev, how are you? It's fun. Blender is so incredibly powerful. And the fact that you can also edit videos and stuff like that, you can do post with it. It's very nice. Can't look at that? So can we change these things? Oh, look at that. We can actually change these things independent. All right, I'm gonna go back out. So going here. I don't know. Go back. Gonna close that scene. Sure, character scene, don't care. Click on this. We're gonna do a new inherited scene. Wow. This means that we can actually add children to these nodes. So we can have a script. We should be able to, say, instantiate some other mesh added as a child to these other elements in here. So if we had like boots or some sort of head or whatever, it looks like we're able to very cleanly get in here and be able to change the materials and whatnot. Wow. Okay. I am surprised. I didn't think that it would be so clean. I see. So what we need to do. Oh, you don't know what we're looking. Oh, can't look at that. It didn't go back to. Oh, OBS. I've got some stuff screwed up. I've got Blender and Godot set up wrong in OBS. Oh, no. That's just something we're tossing together very quickly. Um, Earlier, I had duplicated my Godot scene to make a Blender scene, and it referenced. All right, 1 minute, technical difficulties. Yes, I want to remove that. This goes down. Yeah, that's fine. Rename. Godot app. Ta-da! All right. And if we go back to Blender, oops, let me rename that. Oh, not remove, rename. Right next to each other. All right, Blender, Godot. Fantastic. Let's do this again. We're going back to this scene. I'm going to remove this. Delete node. Yes. Okay, so let's delete a couple other little bits. Unsaved. Close you. Don't save. Okay, so from Blender, we saved out that character as a GLTF2. Hey, good morning, Final Spartan. How are you? So we have just some generic 3D scene, and we are going to take this exported character, which Blender understands as a scene. We're just going to drop it in here. And that's it. Like, boom, it's done. Kind of. Just fairly surprising. I was expecting a little bit more trouble to come along with that. Especially, say we wanted to have this character.glib down here as a scene. If we double click that, we can create a new inherited scene from it and save that just as character.tscn. And from there, we should be able to attach a script up here at the topmost piece, which would then let us have behavior of, or rather attach behaviors to the individual elements in case we ever wanted to, let's say, update this. What happens if we add an arm? Cylinder. Whoa. That's a very long arm you have. All right. I know, this is just terrible, but oops, scroll out, zoom out. Okay. What is it? Duplicate that, put you over here. There we go. Now you have arms. Congratulations. File, export, GLTF2, character, this one. Just gonna export it. Now we'll go back into Godot. So we have this. It didn't automatically update, but if we re-import it, nothing. Oh, the main scene has it. I had to save. Okay, that's a very strange looking person you have there. That's fine. Means I can also remove this one. So control delete. And the character TSCN as a child. There we go. Okay. Now we want to add something like a, let's say, a hat. File new, general. Gonna delete camera, light, cube. No, we're gonna delete that. And we want to add Mesh, probably. Let's go with a cylinder. Gonna scale that. What are we gonna do for the scale here? Not Z. We're gonna scale that out 3x. No, 5. There we go. Scale the z-axis. 0.05. There we go. Very small hat. Bump that up. There. And we're going to put another cylinder on top of it. Creation cursor's there at the middle, which should be fine. Shift A, mesh, cylinder. Alright, there's our fancy hat. Fancy hat. What happens if we just export it as is, where we don't have a parent? Hey, Brooke Zerker, how are you? We are prototyping, and welcome, Raiders. How is everyone? So, what we're going through at the moment, we're trying to come up with something. This is just dev art, right? Click the. Good morning, everyone. So, typically, we are working on a project, and the project is called Legacy. And right now, we are prototyping out a mechanism for being able to add accoutrement to a character, right? So hats, you know, watches, armor, whatever we want, boots, etc. Oh yeah, that is a character made out of primitive shapes. And normally this is a coding stream, and we do a lot of coding. So the frame rate's at 10 FPS. I haven't bothered to bump that up. So hopefully, you know, I'll try to make a few kind of animation sort of movements. Now in this case, we're gonna pull in the hat. Where'd the hat go? Uh-oh, did we not export the hat? Going back to Blender. File, export, GLTF2, which is the greatest format ever. Hat, yep, just defaults there. Done. That's cool. Act on dev. Shapes Mr. Elsie. Hey, we call him primitive. All right, now here's the hat. I'm going to double click on that so we can add a new inherited scene from it. So I think we might end up having to wrap each one of these elements into something that we can export as a prefab. So if we had something like that, we wanted to say, well, there are other ways to export it. So there's our hat scene. Very simple. So it gets reparented. Interesting. Yeah, that's what I wanted to see. Because these were, these are siblings. Morning toggle bit. All right, Brookzerger. Yeah, have a good day at work. Now we're going to try to put the hat on the character. So using our hat scene, let's just put it in there. Give it to the character. All right, ideally, yes, there's a silly gigantic hat, which is fine. We would actually want this character scene to have a script in it, which would know how to attach this. So where does it get attached in this other scene? Oh, and we forgot to rename those. Back to Blender. Character. Which one's the left foot? That one? So that's the right arm. Right arm, left arm. They're all going to be part of the body. There. File, export. Character. Done. Back to Godot. So if we come back in to our character, still not in the right. Morning, Wardley. Yeah, it's going pretty well. We are experimenting with, well, we're trying to prototype out a system for attaching, let's say, stuff to a character. So hats should be able to go on something's head, etc. A little surprised that this did not update. See, if we open anyways, it's correct. If we come back in here, go into this scene. Ah, we had to go into it, and then it adjusted. That's so weird. It's a wonky workflow, but so far the workflow has been pretty darn good. Okay, we're gonna close that one. Character scene, character hat. So this one is supposed to be it's character.tscn. I want to add let's add a script to that. Can we not? Oh, no, we just have to select it. And it looks like we can add scripts to the rest of these. What would happen if, let's say, we're going to play around with kind of the import-export of Blender to Godot. What would happen if we changed the right arm, the left arm here? Let's add a script to this. Sure, inherits from mesh instance, that's fine. I'm going to create an arm. We're just going to have something that's maybe like a print hello world on there, so that when it gets instantiated, so we should be able to run this scene and see that in the debugger. Okay, so we see a little hello world there. There is nothing in the screen, it's just a gray window, you're not missing anything. Okay, so that works. Now, will this persist? Is it... Okay, so left arm. I'm going to delete you, left arm. And we are going to add mesh. Oh. All right. All right. And if we call, let's see, let's put that in the same spot as the other one. Reparent it, call it left arm, save it, file, export. I want to know, like, are they using the name of the nodes and the hierarchy of the nodes, or is there something internal to the format that it is holding on to that defines it in Godot? So we want to make sure that whenever this does update, okay, it doesn't seem to just update. It's not there yet. If I click on mesh here at the bottom and re-import, that also doesn't do it. If I hit save, no, still not there. We still have the script attached, so that's good. Okay. I found that it updates when I double click into the character.gl GLB at the bottom and hit open anyways. Now we see like the actual thing. I'm just gonna close that. Now everything else is updated. I don't understand why we have to do that. But the script is still attached. Ooh, perfect. Nice. That means that we can have localized scripts. Oh, that's handy. That's really handy. All right. All right. Now, is there something that we can attach or put on this character that would let us, say, reparent that hat to the head? So if we did have the hat scene and we wanted to say, oh, you are a child of that now, and you end up at the right place. Go away, output window. So ideally we would want it there. So we need some sort of attachment point that we can express. Oh, Wardley. Oh, that's a good one. That thing attached to the arm is handy. Oh. We also do bad puns on this stream, so just expect it. They're clean, they're bad, they're punny. Like, what do Olympic sprinters eat before a race? Nothing. They fast. Da-dunch. All right. Oh, that's so bad. All right, we're going to delete that there. Let's see if we can export something from Blender as an attachment point for the head. And it could be something that we hide in Godot. So that's possible too. It would also give us the ability to animate, let's say, hats separate from the head. So maybe if they're running, their hat moves separate from their head. Oh, what would actually get exported? Can I add an empty? What would somebody normally use for this? Meatball, no, we don't. I mean, empty seems like a pretty good one. So this is empty. We take the empty and attach that. Let's say this is the hat attachment. All right, let's move that. Oh, good guess. 10. File. Export GLTF2. Done. Come back over to Blender. Oh, Godot. I keep saying the wrong thing there. Open it anyways. Ah, we have a hat attachment, which is invisible. It's there. Oh, you shared it on Discord. Let's see. And this is a pun. I haven't seen it yet. Oh, that picture is the bee's sneeze. Oh. That is funny. And if you're interested about the Discord, there it is. I also have been preserving these videos to YouTube. So they're over there. Okay. I think having the attachment points would be very, very handy. So let's say we did have something, we had a character, we wanted to put a hat as a child to that. We could then take the hat scene, put it as a child of that, and then it plays perfectly. So we need to come up with some sort of convention as to like where origin is for these different elements, but I think it'd be fine. If you can't be handsome, be handy. What was the other one? There's another one. It's on an automotive shop. You can't blind them with brilliance, baffle them with BS. Alright. Alright, so we need some sort of rig that has these sorts of attachment points, and it looks like we can add attachment points later, and it would not be a bad thing. Oh, if you can't be beautiful and buy a belt full of tools. I think standard sort of beauty is it's hard to gauge. There's so much more to beauty. All right, that seems like it works out pretty well. Yes, and we can get rid of this hat, so we don't have two hats. Then if we had some sort of animation, that would be possible. Okay, so some notes. Notes. Let's see. Say mesh node names are important. Or let's say they seem to be. They are preserved. Are preserved in Godot. All right. What else? What was that element called? This is a what? Hat. Yes, I know it's a hat attachment. It's just an empty. It's an empty plain axis. Oh, come on. It was just a AIN. Huh. What were we calling the extra stuff? Customizations. I thought we had a cooler word for that. Adornments, that's where we are. Can you make an attachment for roller skates? I I would expect that to be like shoes or feet or something. But you're right. What would we do for that? And how would you adjust the height of a character based on that? So you'd have to query the model, see how high it is, how tall it is. I think you I think it'd be okay representing that. Okay. Is the Vim wiki? We have our dot files here. Sorry, Benny Q. I'm not sure I understand. I'm just using a markdown file as where I'm taking some notes. Because the goal here is to have this, for this streams to your anniversary, working multiplayer game with teams, building MPV combat. So I'm giving myself 4 weeks of my time to get the characters up and working. And when I say 4 weeks, that isn't like full on 4 weeks. This is like 4 weeks of a couple hours before work, right? So let's say 4 times 7, 28 days times 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours. So we're talking 56 to 70 hours in total. So really 2 weeks of time of like real like effort. So we're in the character section. Oh, and I think I have, where was it? I thought I had Markdown already opened here. There we go. Because I'm probably not going to be making the mesh, but I need to be able to come up with something that, some instructions that I can give to somebody making the mesh and the animations so that I can use it. And some of this stuff, I think if we add hands, things like that, we probably want like a hand attachment point, different elements like that. I don't think I'm going to be the greatest modeler of, let's say, a chibi figure, so I'm not even going to attempt it. However, getting into it and understanding and describing this, I think would work out just fine. Yeah. Just thinking through this, we have these elements here. I'm going to scale that down a little bit. Scale Z 0.7, 0.6, there. Move that up a little bit. So if we did want to add an attachment point for, let's say, a hand, we could do that. Paladins had the ability to mix and match pieces of skins. We changed it so they could make more varied skins without worrying about how they all interacted with each other. It's not easy to implement the mix and match system Yeah. I haven't seen paladins. That sounds pretty cool though. Oh, so I think I'm going to have a number of different kinds of base characters. Right. I think the first generic one is going to be like a 1 to 1.5 head to body size chibi. And I'll have a second one, which is kind of a what we're calling blockheads. So bobbleheads and blockheads, really. It was special. All right, GX. So we could have little attachment points like that, like that's a hand. Is that the right hand? I don't remember. I don't know. Let's see, a right arm? Oh, it is. Good. That could be parented underneath the right arm, right hand attachment. So if we did need to rotate that. Oh, did I go into edit mode for that? I didn't want to do that. So if we rotate that, that in its origin point is off. No, I'm not going to change that right now. But if we did move that, yes, the attachment point moves with it. Good. Okay. Which also means that they can have kind of default hands attached there. Oh, they never fixed bugs. Oh man, I hate buggy games. Let's create a child of that right hand attachment. Just gonna add a sphere real quick. Circle. We could UV sphere. Oh, actually, most of this stuff I want to. Let's put that back. I think all of this stuff. I need to reset its. I don't know, where is it? A. Yeah. Okay, there's its hand. Now, I'm gonna call it a placeholder. That'll be off of the right hand attachment. So when we get into Godot, we'll have to remove that. That's fine. We're going to be there for animations, etc. File export, GLTF, good, and into Godot. Open anyways. Close that. Okay. Let's get the little hand there off of the attachment point, which means that we can remove the child, put some other hand on there. Okay. So things like hands, feet, beard, nose, chin, hats, shoulder pads, etc. are all going to be mounted like that. I think at this point I probably need. Oh, look, and it's still got the script. That's good. Which means that we could have a script in here. Let's see, what happens if Oh good, that whole thing goes away. Because as long as we keep the characters basically the same structure, we should be able to not even need these subscripts. We would just attach a script to the top, then everything just flows with the right attachment points. And it looks like being additive is going to be fine, which is good. And if we have versions of these, we should be able to then have a script which can detect like a V1, V2 version, rearrange it, convert it as it's coming in. Interesting. All right, anybody know how to create a character? And I could kind of rig this out. That would be extraordinarily painful for me, and probably for you to watch, because I've never done that. What is it? We would look for Rigify and Blender. How to do that? Yeah, we could Rigify something up. We'll probably have to look into that a little bit later. I wonder if our characters mesh can be kind of in pieces like that. I think it can be. All right, let's add a little bit more to our humanoid. That, and I think we are going to use a simple rig. So if we look, do I have armatures here? Basic is human. Armature. Holy cow. That's it. That's it way down there. All right, let's move it. Seriously? That thing is tiny. View. Frame selected. Why are you so tiny? There. Scale it up 5x. Alright. I am not a huge Minecraft fan. I played a lot of Minecraft. A lot with the kids. When years ago, I played more of it. That was supposed to be a 0.7. There we go. Bring this in. Bring these elements here in. Or can I just select the arm? Ooh, nice. Okay, hierarchies are fun. Okay. I think I would like to use just something straightforward and basic, like the default rig, the basic rig. Never can get into Minecraft. You end up hiding in a hole, dark hole, so you don't get blown up. Yeah, it did seem rather large. And if we look at like the scale of it, it was, I guess, yeah, 4 meters this way, 2 meters that way. Because the blocks start out as 2-meter blocks. So I did make a giant. Technically, this thing is what, 10 meters tall? So let's fix that first. Let's create a new rig. And let's position our placement point over here somewhere. No, I don't want to place it over there. I want it. No, stop it. Can I just set your point? Location. Why is everything selected? Alright, there's our basic human rig. Gonna make one that size, because that's 2 meters tall. And it should be on the ground. But Z should be 0, put you on the ground. X, let's put you at 2. Right, you're way over there now. Yeah, under the foot of the giant. Oh, I didn't mean to go negative. I meant 0.1. Alright. Maybe that should have been 0.2. Let's scale that up. Move it. Oh, where did you go? I lost it. Okay. It's our 2-meter monster there. So I imagine that we could create a mesh for basically the head, the body, etc. And that could be one continuous piece, and Godot probably wouldn't care. All I would need on Godot's side is to know where those mount points are and how to adjust the texture for the character. Because we want to have also an automatic compositing system for textures for faces, specifically for faces. Because we're not going to put the expressions in the models, we're going to put the expressions in the textures and have more or less static textures. We'll see how that goes. Okay. Let's build up a new character. We're going to have attachment points for feet, hands, hat, nose, chin. Let's make a list. And we will call them attachment foot left, right, hand, left and right, hat, Beard, mustache. Here. Chin. Eyebrows. That one I'm not certain about. Should the eyebrows actually be drawn on, or should they be part of the... Should they be swappable in other ways? I think eyebrows need to be separate models. But how would we do expressions with eyebrows? All right, we'll figure it out. I think there's a cool customizations you could do with eyebrows that can come off of the head, you know? All right, now those are kind of like the body ones. What about, well, except for hat. Let's sort these. All right, we need like shoulder pads left and right. I think we're going to have a lot of different attachment points. I mean, maybe also for like major joints, like elbows, knees, belt. Right, where is the belt buckle? Where is it? Where is it? All right, so we'll have body and then, I don't know, adornments. Am I using that right? Generally an accessory or adornment worn to enhance the beauty or status of the wearer. So yeah, I think that's kind of appropriate. Hat, belt, shoulder, left, right. Ooh, is the body itself part of the adornment? I think it needs to be consistent for the rest of it to work. Oh, that's tough. That's a tough one. All right. Let's see, wrist, left, right. For watches, stuff like that. I mean, you could put gauntlets on and stuff like that with that attachment point. And what about some sort of hand adornment? Like not just hand left right, but something that you could put on your hand, like jewelry. Is that how you spell jewelry? I guess so. Just doesn't seem right. Um, necklace. All right. I'm sure that's going to be a huge pain in the butt to animate, but all right. That's way too much, and we'll probably add some more. Okay, now going back to the thought that the body itself could be kind of swapped out. We could have like base body rigs. I don't think that's going to matter. I think having like the consistent base is going to be okay. I think it should be textured, like the texture should be swappable. Like a shirt, you know, like if you wanted to wear something else underneath these different sorts of adornments. Good morning, 715209. How are you? Shirt. Pants. I don't know, what is a more general term for something that you wear on your upper body and lower body? Clothes. Bravo. Bravo. Alright, that's way too much stuff. Ooh, a headache because of school. Alright, let's try to kind of build this out a little bit. Okay. First, sorry, big guy, you are going away. What is a key code for selecting? Shortcut, Shift Spacebar or B. Shortcut cycle is W? Oh, interesting. That's neat. Otherwise, Shift Space. Ah, look at that. Goodbye. Alright. I am not good at this, so... Alright, there's a meta rig. Player rig. There's pose, and there's these other elements. I do not know how to adjust these yet. I imagine that I can add elements as children in here so they move along with these, and then later they get the weights associated with them. But I'm not sure. So we're going to come in here a little closer, and we're just going to make some rough shapes. I don't know if I want to do that or start to work on the scripting portion of it. I think I do need something that's just kind of a placeholder, but I'm not sure actually how to use the rig. All right, where's the Rigify documentation? Ah, here. Main features, activation, basic use. Hey, Bear Dude, how are you? Mr. Woolsey, have you decided on a new moniker? Add a predefined meta rig. Okay, Shift A. Didn't know that. Shift A. Doesn't really seem to do it. Oh, I guess if you have screen real estate, it does go straight to armature. That's neat. Ah, very nice. Very nice. Not one way or another with naming? Well, I'm having coffee right now, so you know what my suggestion is. To correctly match your character, meta rig bones must be moved to correct positions. This can be achieved in two different ways, pose mode or edit mode. Rigify assumes that one unit corresponds to 1 meter, so a human is about 2 units tall. If your character is in a different scale and you are more familiar with modeling rather than rigging, it's suggested to scale it to Rigify dimensions before positioning the meta rig bones. Interesting. If you want to scale a character's geometry, we suggest you first scale up the character in object mode, then apply the geometry scale with the Apply Scale tool. Keep the legs as straight as possible in the front view. Rigify Human works better in predictable cases. Interesting. What is Rigify Human? Oh, I see. Basic Human. Okay. Torso. Keep the spine as straight as possible in the front view. The last bone of the spine is the head. By default, the next two bones, top to bottom, are considered the neck bones. It is suggested to... Okay, so the top is the head, the next two are the neck. Keep the bones as aligned as possible when editing. Let's take a little peek in here. I see. So this top one is the head. Then the neck is these two here. Okay, that makes sense. Arms, elbows. This looks like a hand then. Torso. Interesting that the hips move like that. Guess that's it's fairly accurate for a hip. We have the H bone. The ball joints are here. Interesting. Okay. Now what about the ankles? What is this here? The heel? Oh, nice, nice. Hey, Star Howl. Good morning. Okay. How's the audio today? I think I had it off after my last setup. I mean, it might be a little quieter, but I think it comes across a little better. Let me know if it's too quiet. Positioning face bones can be tricky. We're not going to do face bones. If you want to scale the face, if you want to scale all of the face bones at once, consider scaling the face master bone in pose mode. Okay. All right, so now it's going to talk about pose mode, etc. Entering the MetaRig pose mode, rotate, scale, and translate the bones in the correct position. When bones are in correct positions, always stay in pose mode. Use apply pose as reset pose. Connected bones cannot be translated in pose mode. You can scale the parent bone to match the general length, then refine child bone scale. Okay. Some basic armature display setup is suggested before entering bone edit mode. With the MetaRig selected, go into the properties and click on the object tab. Scroll down to the display. Okay. Binding geometry to the rig. You can use the predefined preferred tools. Just a few things you have to know. All of the deforming bones are on the armature layer 30. Oh, they have layers set up. Oh, that's nice. Oh, look at that. Is that 30? I don't know if that's 30. Oh, but that's just the leg. I see. Wow, look at that. So what are these down here? I don't know what these mean. Bone groups, pose library. Oh, can you capture poses? Very nice. Okay. Amateur layer 30. Armature. That's 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know how they count these. Because this one here is probably 19, 22. Or do they go all the way across? Is that like 16 across, and then this one's 17? I don't see a 30 then. Oh, nice. You can just click and drag to... Oh. Okay. That was fun. Eyes and teeth bones are not deforming. You are supposed to bind the eyes and teeth geometry through child of constraints. I see. Usually armature deformation with automatic wigs. Do a really good job out of the box. If you correctly place your bones, there's enough topology to work with. Okay. Fancy. Yeah, we're not going to do face, bone positioning, torso bones. Start by identifying your character's basic torso zone to follow as a guide for bone placement. Starting from the side view, place the main spine bones, trying to use one bone for the rigid areas and two bones for the flexible ones. Alright. Oh, that's right. I turned everything off. Bendy bones. Let's see what we can do. Let's add a leg. This is just going to be probably a cube that, let's see, mesh cube. We'll scale that to 0.1. Kind of. That, and why is it off there? Right, your position in the world should not be right there. There. So let's put its z as 0.1 x minus point. Oops. I wonder if we have to worry about that's about right. Okay. Duplicate you, move you across. There. So we want to move you to... What? Over here somewhere. Zoom in. Kind of in there, maybe. Our hips are kind of... X should still be 0. There we go. Duplicate you. Move you up. Give it a bit more of a scale. It keeps going out of frame, so... Alright, we want to scale on probably just the Z-axis here. Something simple. Seriously, where did you go? All right, this is the let's name some of this. This is leg right, leg left, hips, torso. Give him an arm. Yeah, we'll give that a duplicate. That's that over here. Ah. Just checking the angle. All right, it's close enough. All right. That, and I don't know about that. The elbows are coming back. Maybe we should have these in 2 pieces. Now let's scale that down. Oh no, not that much. Just get rid of that. Okay, a little bit bigger there. There we go. Give that a little rotation. Too much. Okay. Okay. So going to apply that transform. So, no, wrong button. Select it, Command A, rotation and scale. We're going to duplicate it, scale it, X, -1, boom. Move that across, something like that. Should have kept the angle there, good. Okay, now for the lower arm. Scale the whole thing down just a touch. Get rotation. Move it into kind of the right spot. Rotate this way. Okay, so 7. Let's get it to match the angle. Close enough. Okay. There's a little crazy rig. Okay, let's make sure we got this set up left, right. Right upper arm, left upper arm. Okay. So if we have those, then we should be able to go through and associate the rest of this. I wonder, I don't, Using the numpad if you have one. You know what, there's actually a really neat, even if you don't have one, you can use the number keys. So there's this emulate numpad option here in the preferences, or emulating the numpad just using the number keys. It is what I'm using right now. So hitting like 1, 3, 7, 5, go perspective, adjust little. It's very useful. Oops, I left the thing up there. Okay. Well, there's that. I'm gonna collect these into a group, not the player rig. All right. body. There we go. Now we have body. Now we have player rig. It's under character. This. There we go. Fancy. All right, now how do we end up associating this quote unquote model with these bones? Okay, let's figure this out. We're not going to be doing poses. Let's say we have hips, right? So from the front. We're not going to go through that. Pelvis left and right. Connected. Okay, how do we connect those? Bone size, extrude, shear. Oh, this is something I did forever ago. All right. Parent connected. Whoa, no, don't do that. It's not connected. Full scale deform. Yes. We don't have it associated with a model yet, so how do we set that association? Perhaps we do it the other way, where we go to the element, left leg. All right. So if we go into here, here's left leg, parent. Oh, I see. Thigh left. This is in the bones, okay. Thigh right. See, but I can't set it to have two parents, because now it feels like I need to have some other piece for the lower portion, or maybe we just subdivide these. All right. Well, let's do that. All right, torso. We will associate you with parents, spine one. Sure, that works. Oh. Now I want to do the left lower arm. Arm. Oh, I see. They're using forearm. Left forearm. Good. Upper arm left. Oh, don't do that. Well, it's not taking. What in the world? Interesting that, like, depending on where I click, I get different elements. So there's like thigh right, which feels like it's like that's not a thigh. Maybe thigh right. That's spine. What? This? And some of these are still called spine. I wonder if I screwed that up. Shoulder left, shoulder right. Yeah, that one shouldn't be called spine. Oh dear. Alright. Let's get rid of this player rig. Dissolve bones. Delete bones. There we go. Delete hierarchy. Go character. Full view. 3D cursor. I want to 0, 0, 0. There we go. Armature again. Basic human. Yeah, it's back.
Does anyone have a vertical foregrip?
Let's try again. Say we have this leg, and we want to dissociate bones with it. I say they have weight mode, vertex paint, sculpt, etc. No, we don't want edit mode, we want object mode. Somehow, before I had gotten into this other mode of being able to select elements, I want pose, I want that. This is edit mode for that. Which is probably not what I want. I left. So if we come down into here into bones, where the parent is the spine, which is expected for that. But if we go to, let's say, left leg, here, think there's something in the way that, like, select one piece and then the other. If I select left leg, then I select thigh left. Somehow we associate them. All right. So left leg. Interesting that I had to like click in over here to get this, to get the bones. Go to pose mode. The bones are still there. Bone constraint properties, poses, bones. And now the bones are still there. Regardless. Left leg. We will parent. Ooh, they have bone groups. Oh, I see the bone icon moves. See how the bone icon is there after pose now? And now it's over that. See, so left leg. Specify the parent. Oh, I get it. Leg. Thigh left. Oh, it didn't keep it. Let's say we come over here, we say thigh left. Then we go leg left. Ah, the bone is gone. All right, I got to do a little bit more research on this before I get too far into it. So I'm probably going to go through some tutorial tonight. And then I should probably go through that with the artists. I call them children. Offspring, children. But I think we got through a couple of things. I need to get the script set up. Having the attachment points figured out is a big relief. I think there's a way to do that. I think we'll have to document how each attachment point works, where it's supposed to be on the body. That should be fine. We are going to raid Bear Doodah. And I'm gonna find me a tutorial to go through. So, well, thanks y'all for hanging out today. So, I'm saying so a lot. I will focus on not doing that. Until next time, bye bye.